Hello everyone and welcome to another vlog. I'm welcome you from my kitchen. I don't know for how many weeks it's gonna be from here, but it is what it is. So today I'm talking about funny mistakes. I'm talking about fails, funny fails that remain simple mistakes and simple fails, although some of those mistakes could have ended horribly. So I just want to ask you to watch this video until the end to learn from my mistakes, to learn not to do those mistakes. If you want to be a landscape photographer, these are things that are going to happen, but you need to welcome them with an open mind, an open heart, and move on and just learn from them. Once I started to learn landscape photography, I thought that, well, if I manage to get all the knowledge, then I will be perfect. I will be the perfect landscape photographer. I will just go there and know exactly what to do and know exactly in what direction to photograph, with what lens, what settings, how to edit. So I was thinking in my mind that there is a perfect recipe for creating a really beautiful photo. Now I'm doing landscape photography from 2007 and I'm a full-time landscape photographer from 2009. So there are a couple of years passed down the road, but still mistakes are being made. And once I started to think about this video, it made me smile in a way. It made me nostalgic because these are things that happened to me that I'm talking right now from my own experience. So let's get going. Let's not drag this any longer. Mistake number one, cards and batteries. So I was at a workshop. I did the sunset, then I went with the participants to the hotel, we did some editing, and then we went to sleep. Next day, I'm waking up to do the sunrise. We go there and I'm starting to explaining to everybody what they should do, and then I have to prove them that what I'm saying is correct. So I open my camera and I realize I don't have any battery inside my camera. Well, it's frustrating, it's embarrassing, but I have to be honest. And I tell all the other participants, okay, I don't have any batteries with me. Fortunate enough, there are other Canon users, some of them, okay, we have a battery, here's a battery. I put the battery in, I turn on the camera and it says, no card in camera. And it was a really hard lesson to learn that morning. Once you finish editing a day before the workshop, make sure you have the battery and the card inside and memory card inside your camera. Otherwise, you're going to be in a very interesting situation. You'll have to apologize a lot and you'll have to endure all sorts of jokes throughout the entire workshop. And some of the participants that were that workshop still joke today about what happened there. Mistake number two, I hiked for 4 days, for a 4 days stay. I didn't hike for 4 days. I hiked to stay 4 days on top of a mountain. That was the only way to get there. I just took my laptop with me, and when I wanted to start to edit, the laptop didn't have the charger with it. So I forgot to bring the charger. Well, I just had to contend with photographing and editing in my head. It was a silly mistake, but I had to carry the laptop for nothing. So another thing that you can learn from. Mistake number three, when the hour is changing during summer or winter, our phones do this automatically. Now there are moments when I'm out and I have to film with whatever camera is closest to me. So I'm filming with the DSLR, I'm filming with my DJI Action. I was filming also with the GoPro back then. And I also film a lot with my phone, depending on the situation. And the problem was, for example, when I went to Norway, the phone changed hour, but my cameras didn't change. So imagine the pain that I had to just figure out where the videos are, where the videos could film with the phone fit with the rest of the videos, because I forgot to change the hour with my camera. So this is another mistake. It's the same with photos. If you have cameras with different time dates, it's a pain in the ass if you want to have everything sorted depending on the time. Mistake number 4. I also had a participant once that had a GoPro and said, okay, Toma, I will help you with filming the workshop and I will give you the footage. Okay, he gives me the footage. I just copy the footage along with my footage. I just sorted by time, I numbered it, okay. At this point, I can't make a really quick selection of his footage if something is wrong. Well, something was wrong and his date was a day before. So everything that filmed today, it went in the footage from yesterday, from my footage. So it was, again, some really quality moments of frustration and nerves. Mistake number 5. I did some handheld photos with the telephotos at a certain point. I was on top of a mountain. Of course, it was snowing. I saw some black wild goats. I went through the snow. I did some photos. I just looked at in the back of my camera. I didn't check for 100%. I went home and all the photos were shaky. So that's another lesson to learn. If you can't use the tripod, if you're not absolutely sure that the photo is 100% sharp, then you should double check. Just to be sure that you're not getting home and you don't have the photos. Mistake number 6. Okay, I did a workshop, and the first workshop that I did on top of a mountain where there had to be hiking, I told everybody you should have a backpack, but I didn't specify that the only thing that you should have is one backpack. So I had the surprise that people turned out. I had 2 participants. One had a backpack and another backpack in front. Okay, that one was hard to get up the mountain, but manageable. The other one had a backpack and a travel baggage, something that he had to just pull along with him. It was a real pain. I mean, the entire group made it to the chalet, and I had to stay with him. And it was an hour or something. I was an hour late because of that. It was really difficult. From that moment on, I specify exactly, you need to have only one backup, and this is only one backpack, and this is absolutely mandatory, 110%. Sometimes I need to say this. Number 7, I started to film a vlog. I turned the mic on, but I didn't check for the LED to be red. So there was no battery in the microphone, and I filmed 5 or 6 hours the entire hike. I didn't bother to check. So yeah, another mistake. Number 8, I was photographing some waterfalls. I took my ND6 stops, I put it in holder, the holder goes on my lens, I make the shot, and then when I want to rotate the camera, I accidentally turn the other knob and the camera goes from here, clunk, and the camera does just a slight clunk, but the filter is full glass and it's simply shattered to pieces. So that's another thing that you have to be aware of. Number 9, in Tuscany, I had my circular polarizer stuck on my lens and I had to get it off, but I couldn't. So I just rotated and pulled so hard. I don't know if you know, but the circular polarizer has a fixed part and the other part mounted on top with a click, and that's the part that rotates. And I just took that part off. Now I assumed that I broke the filter. I was simply angry and I said, okay, things like this happen. But it took me one day, I think, or 1.5 days to figure out that I could just clink, press it, and the filter was perfect. But for that day, it wasn't funny. Mistake number 10. I went to photograph, and it was a really long hike, and I only had with me half a liter of water, and I almost passed out. It was completely horrible. I couldn't think about photography. The only thought that I have is water, water, water. I was completely out of shape. Okay, number 11. During my first hikes as a landscape photographer, I thought that I should travel light. It was the first times that I had my photographic gear with me, and usually my backpack was not that heavy. So I thought, okay, I will take the camera gear that I needed, but I will not take rain jacket, cold jacket, clothes to change, something to eat, something sweet, water. So I gave all these things up. And the number of times I was wet, hungry, wet, thirsty. And whenever you are one of these things, photography, it's the only thing that it's not on your mind in those moments. So yeah, a really big mistake. And mistake number 12. I had a workshop during winter, and we were photographing a frozen waterfall. And I told everybody, to all the participants, okay, we all stay here. We don't step on that area of the ice because that's only a bridge across the water, and it will not hold. If you do something like this, and I'm doing something like this with the tripod and the entire ice breaks under me, where I told everybody not to go, I was exactly there when I said everybody not go there, I'm there. I do the tripod like this, the ice broke, I fell into the water. Of course my camera is up, God forbid to for the camera to go inside the water. I'm all wet, but the camera is all fine. Everybody comes, of course, pulls me out because I fell with my feet up. There's a hole in the ice and my ass is in the water and one foot is in the water. So it wasn't really funny. It was funny that after I got to the hotel, I changed. It was funny, but at that moment, it wasn't funny. It was horrible. Number 13, my alarm from my phone rings at 4 a.m. I wake up, I turn off the alarm, and then I say, oh, well, that's 5 more minutes to sleep. Well, I woke up at 7 o'clock and the sun was all up. I couldn't do sunrise anymore. Mistake number 14. When I started to do landscape photography, there weren't that many resources like you have today. There weren't YouTube channels or I don't know any other ways to learn online. There were some, but very, very few. So for a very big period of time, I was photographing JPEG. Well, this is the mistake. But here comes the wow moment. And I can remember exactly on what hike I discovered the RAW format. I took some photos in RAW, and when I got home and I saw the power of editing RAW after that time when I was editing JPEG, it was mind-blowing for me. It was like I was discovering a second universe that was right there near me, and I didn't knew it was there. Okay, number 15. Again, during my first workshop when we went on the mountain hiking and we stayed up on the chalet, I asked a few persons, okay, are you used to go hiking on the mountain? Yeah. Are you having problem with heights? No, I don't have. No, I don't have. No, I don't have. Well, after 5 or 6 of them told me, don't bother, everything is fine, I forgot to continue asking. And one of the participants had problems with heights, and he told me at the worst moment when we were up there and he just froze. Well, I can't tell you how difficult it was to get him safe down, because when you freeze on a position that is dangerous, and this is the fail or mistake that I made that could have ended up horribly. I mean, that person could have fallen. I was a very lucky guy, and he was lucky that everything went okay. But it was the first workshop on top of a mountain. So mistake number 15. Mistake number 16 right now. So after about 2 to 3 years of doing some landscape photography, I thought I knew everything. So I was so full of myself. I was the king of the hill, if you want. Nobody could reach up to here to me. And whenever someone tried to tell me something or to teach me something or to give me a tip or a suggestion, I always took it like, what do you know? I'm doing landscape photography for 2.5 or whatever, 3 years, and I know everything. Well, now after all those many years, I realized how simple-minded I was at that point. So everybody in photography is a continuous beginner. We are in different stages of beginners, but there is always something new to learn. There is always a new technique, a new way to interpret, a new way to edit. There is always something different. New camera, new gear, new approaches. Something is different. The minute that I realized that I'm a beginner, I will always be a beginner, that was a change or a shift in the way I talk to people, in the way I welcome critics, and so on. Okay, mistake number 17. This is a really big one, and be ready for it. When I started doing this YouTube thing, I thought to myself, okay, there are only few channels. I think on landscape photography only Thomas Hitton was there, and maybe one or two. Okay, I'm starting now. I'm doing my best. I'm presenting a lot of useful information. I will work hard. Okay, for 1, 2, let's say 3 years, but then I will reach 100,000 subscribers and everything is going to be okay. It's not. It's not. So I was thinking that you need to produce a certain type of quality, okay, to be successful on YouTube. But it turns out there are so many other factors, including the fact that YouTube wants to make money. So for YouTube, makes sense to promote videos from which they can make money, because a person that vlogs from UK will have a lot of followers from UK, and to the followers from UK, you will display commercials from UK. Same with the United States or Germany or or Norway, Finland, the countries from the north of Europe. So depending on which country you are, you will have different problems with YouTube. It's not something that it will just go like a flower. You will have a much more easier or a much more difficult path, depending on so many factors, depending on who you are, from where you are, and so on. So this was my mistake, assuming that YouTube it's going to fix my problems. Lucky for me, I was a full-time landscape photographer before starting YouTube, so my business went on as usual, and YouTube was just something that was a bonus, if you want. Mistake number 18. Even after doing landscape photography for so many years, 2020 came like a storm on me. I didn't expect this to happen. I didn't expect all my income sources to go underwater, and this forced me to think in a completely different way. Number 19. When I was a beginner photographer, I was studying the location, but I was also looking at the photos that were taken in that location. And I was looking at so many photos. I mean, all the photos over there. The minute I started, I stopped doing this. Yes, I had to know. I had to see some photos to decide, okay, this location is worth going to. But just a few photos, and then I'm looking for the actual location, where it is, how to get there. That is the moment when I was opening to and I was photographing the place the way I was thinking it's worth photograph. So this is a very important thing. Look at too many photos from one area and it's a mistake, because you're starting to think exactly like them. You're not going to think like you. Number 20. You can never have too many income streams. And why? Because of what's happening today. I hate myself for not doing some things that I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to develop on Udemy, on Skillshare. And by the way, if you want to follow me on Skillshare and you want to see my courses on Skillshare, just click on that. I also have a Patreon right now, but I don't want to advertise it because I first want to have about, let's say, 50 videos there. So once you roll up to, you have something to watch and you have some content, and it's there for you. So I hate that I made this mistake that I had about 4 or 5 income streams, but it's not enough. Believe me, you can never have too many income streams. Yeah, these were my 20 funny mistakes. If you have something to add, use the comment section below. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe for more similar videos or videos related to landscape photography. Thanks for watching, thanks for your time, and until next time, keep on photographing because it's the only way to get better. Bye bye.